In the vast new lands of Varlamore, one man faces an impossible task. Confined to a single chunk of this untamed frontier, every tile, every resource, every challenge must be earned. No trading, no handouts, no fancy teleports. Just grit, grind, and one chunk at a time. This is Chunklamore. Okay, so first things first, we have to complete Tutorial Island. We'll get off of here, and then I believe I need to complete Children of the Sun to actually get to Varlamore and get things started. Once we're there, I'll load up the chunk and you guys can see exactly what tasks we have ahead of us. Okay, there we go, so off Tutorial Island. The first thing to mention is that we are a hardcore Ironman. The intention is to keep it. I know most one chunks lose this status. I am going to do my absolute best. My goal is to at least escape Varlamore with this intact. We'll see how that goes, but that is the intention. I thought that was something else then. The next thing that we have to do is obviously dispose of everything that we come off of the island with. We are sticking to the same rules that everyone else does. So yeah, we'll not be taking anything with us. I do believe, as I mentioned before, that we need to do Children of the Sun in order to actually access Varlamore. There are no requirements for it, so let's go and get that done now. So I have just realised, heading to go and complete the quest to get to Varlamore, that I'm probably going to unlock a couple of music tracks, which is a little bit annoying, but it can't actually be avoided, so we'll ignore that for now. But yeah. Okay, so here we are in Varrock. We have to speak to Alina to get the quest started. I am not going to pay too much attention to what gets said. I am just going to get myself to the island. I don't think there's any combat in this quest. So, with that being said, we should be okay not to lose our status. As I said, there are plans to keep it all the way through. There we are, so we've made it to the final hiding place to watch and go in. Watch the cutscene. Move on. And there we go. Children of the Sun completed. And the main thing, access to Varlamore. So now all that we need to do is get out of here, go and see the Quetzal, and make our way to our chunk. Amazing, here we go. So all we need to do is speak to Regulus Cento, and hopefully he will deposit me in our chunk. And there we are. We are in our starting chunk. Chunk 6704. So most of you are obviously going to be wondering what chunks we are looking at going for. So let me just show you. And here we are. Here is our chunk map. So we have a pretty meaty chunk to begin with. So as you can see, we've got quite a few tasks: 65 cooking, 43 crafting, 1 fire making, which we already have, which is lovely, 65 fletching, 75 thieving, and 1 wood cutting. We need to get ourselves an iron dagger, a black robe, leather gloves, and get ourselves a blue wizard hat. Obviously we also need to buy a player-owned house. So there's a lot to break down there. The first thing we're going to do though is have a look around our chunk and see what interesting things that we can find. Okay, cool. So first of all, we have a general store here, so let's have a look. I don't actually know what's included in the general store. Okay, cool. Some of this I'm sure is going to be quite useful to us later. I must remember these items that are lying around, just in case we do need them. There are a bunch of stalls in this main market square. So you've got the silk stall, baker's stall, thirst stall, gem stall. So that's obviously our main task. A spice stall. I know we can pickpocket the wealthy citizens. They're quite a high requirement though. So there's the estate agent for the house. Hopefully, let's have a look. Hopefully, yes. Okay, so these are pickpocketable straight away. So I'm able to at least do something straight off the bat. What store is this? Oh, okay. So we have a very good food supply here, actually. One thing that is quite upsetting is if you have a look, our starting chunk does not have a bank, so that is going to be quite interesting. Okay, so I've just come into the pub as well. There seems to be, I mean, stews, I'm pretty sure stews heal a good amount, so I think we're pretty well set when it comes to heals. Can I get up here? Or is there anything upstairs in the pub? Oh my, okay, this is huge. So there is an iron axe spawn. Can I wield that straight away? I can. What about the wood cutting? Okay, interesting. Okay, there we go. So I think that is going to be our... Oh, straight away. I wonder... So it obviously heals, and it gives an agility and strength boost, but it does lower our attack. Okay, interesting. Another strange little find. There is a bird bath here that I can drink from. I don't know what it does. Yes. Okay. Okay. That... I did have a concern that I was maybe going to get poisoned. I'm glad I didn't, because obviously we would just... That would be it. The hardcore setters would be gone already. But, you know, it's all good. And as you can see here, we do actually have an altar that we can pray at. So we do have the ability to restore our prayer points. It's going to be a long time until I have any prayers that are useful. However, I'm sure we'll have protection prayers before we even get the chance to leave this chunk. But good to have nonetheless. There are catacombs down here. I've not been down there. Let's have a little look. So... Can we go through here? No. Okay. Fountainhead. Nothing to go through that side. And what about the opposite side here? Again, nothing. Okay, cool. Okay, so I've just done a little bit more walking around. I found this chest. I don't know. The chest is locked. Maybe if I had a lockpick, I would be able to see what was in it. I'm not sure. It might obviously be related to a quest, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I've explored pretty much all of the chunk. I think the only thing that's really left to do is get started with our tasks. I think first things first, we need a bit of money to even be able to afford like a tinderbox, for example. So we'll do some thieving, make some GP, and get ourselves a tinderbox to chop that log and burn it. Okay, so the coin pouches from the citizens have 3 coins in each. So yeah, it's obviously going to take a little while before we can afford anything worthwhile to us. I know I'm only level 1. I have failed quite a few times already. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. 2 in a row. Can we get 3? Can we get 4? No, we cannot. Okay. So the Sunbeam Ales that are just on the table, they heal 1. But you know what? We don't need more than that right now, which is fine by me. And there we go. The first of many thieving levels, but we are now level 2. Cool, so I've got 60 GP now. Oh, who knew? Obviously a big part of this is going to be inventory management. I right now do not have a bank, so I have a feeling that right now keeping my inventory quite empty is going to be the best thing that I can do. So I am just going to continue thieving. I'm not sure where the tree that I can actually chop in this chunk is. Is it this? Can I chop this? Let's find out. No. Okay, so that's pathing me. Here, there it is. There's the tree. Okay, here we go. Chop a log. Burn a log. Burn a log. There we are. Okay. That is 2 tasks. Chop logs and burn logs completed already. Obviously, I think this isn't going to be too horrendous because I've obviously got a thief from a gem store anyway. So I think by the time that I've got the crafting, I'll well have the thieving level for the gem anyway. This is the one that scares me. 65 fletching, only having that one tree is kind of scary. And in a good old RuneScape YouTuber fashion, I've already missed level 2 woodcutting. Thought to myself, yeah, I'll never miss a single level. I'm better than that. Yeah, that didn't last long at all, did it? I probably won't do a check-in with every single level because obviously that is quite tedious, and there's already another YouTuber by that name. So yeah, we move on. There we go, level 5. Told you I wasn't going to check in every single time. We do, however, need to go and get a knife because I've just realised that I should probably be cutting these straight into arrow shafts anyway, just to get myself going on the fletching grind from the offset. So we're going to head over to the general store, speak to the shopkeep, get ourselves a knife and start hacking away at these logs. I dread to think how many arrow shafts that we're going to have by the time that we're done with this 65 fletching. But you know what? I'm going to say 2.5 million. I think 2.5 million. I've got no idea. That's just a random guess. So I was just doing a little bit more thieving and I thought to myself, I wonder what the next thing that I'm going to be able to do is. It seems to be here anyway. The silk stall is going to be the next thing for me. Yeah. Pickpocketing wise. Obviously we've got citizens at the moment, so that's absolutely fine. These guys, guards, level 20 guards. 40, so I'm assuming we'll go from here to... Wait, what about Baker's store? So there's no... Maybe that's going to be level 5? How much XP? Let's have a look. When I get to level 5, let me get to level 5, check back in, and we'll try the cake store out, or the baker's store. Okay, so I'm going to check out... It's... What? It's unlimited. It's Hang on a moment. Did they go up? Oh my god, wait, aren't jugs of wine like the best? So shoes... 4, 4, 4... I should just buy shit loads of wine. Oh my god. Hang on a moment. This is crazy. I did not realise that there was an unlimited supply. I thought I'd have the hot world. Okay, that is an absolute game changer. There we go, that's the level 5. So let's run over to this baker's stall. So I'm concerned. Oh wow, okay. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So I have to be super careful because of these guys. These guys, I am worried, can one hit me, and that would not be fun. So we've just stolen a cake. My question is, are they worth anything? No. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, so it is quite hard to steal from this stall. This guard's wander distance is like this section here, from what I can tell. So I feel like in order for me to successfully steal from here, I would have to get to the point where I could kill this guard, and in a downtime between him respawning, steal as much as I can from the stall, which is obviously quite an interesting process. But look, when you consider that in comparison to like what Frey had to do and what Limpwurts had to do, and I mean even Verf, right? Verf has had some nasty grinds as well. This is easy. I can do this, right? I can do this. No problem. Right, I have just found something quite interesting. It seems like this guard, I can get stuck down at the bottom. And he is unable to prevent me from stealing. So, as long as I'm paying attention, not like that, not like that. Can I wrap round? If I wrap round. Okay, so he has... Did I go out of his aggro range? There we go. So it's just... So... Wait. So if I draw you over here... Yes, there we go. And there we go. So with the tech of the guard getting trapped, we are now up to 10 thieving. That took no time at all in comparison to thieving the citizens. Obviously, this is like 16 XP. They were like, I want to say 8 XP or something stupid like that. So yeah, that's a huge difference. Okay, so I managed to trap the other guard around here, so that I've only got one to contest with. Brilliant. Not what... Can I... Maybe I can do the same with this one. Maybe if I bring them both around there. You know what? That's fine. Now, they're both out there, and I can just literally spam away until they move. I think there's like the 5-minute despawn timer, so doing that to each of them and then getting 5 minutes of uninterrupted thieving is probably going to be the way forward. Okay, so I have I have just checked a calculator to see what kind of fletching endeavour I'm out for. So in order to hit the level 65 fletching requirement, in order to cut the diamond bolt tips, I need to cut 89,886 logs into arrow shafts or short bows. Now, that being said, there is obviously the longbow, which cuts that down in half, but I'm pretty sure that's because it uses double the logs. So yeah, it's going to take us a little while, but we will certainly get there. I will indeed be shafted, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, what's that? 89,000 times 15. So I'm gonna have, like, I think I predicted like 2.5, and there we go, level 20 thieving. So that now means that we can move on, and yeah, there you go, thieve from silk stalls. It's over there. I'm really hopeful that because it's in that corner, if I come over here, I don't know if I'm going to get caught at all here. It looks like we're all good. I have a feeling I may... Wait, hang on. Have I just been thieving? First stalls. Oh, there we go. So I only have to do this till 35, and then we can move on to the first stall, which is even better. Perfect. Okay. Okay, happy days. I will see you guys once we've got 35 thieving. Okay, so I wanted to sell the silk back to the merchant. I did it too early. He called the guards on me. Could have died, but we got away. My question is, will the... Amazing. So it goes down by 1... What's the lowest it will go to? Will it just keep going down? Yeah, okay, so it's going to go all the way down. However, the good news is that at the very least I can sell silk and bread and cakes. Oh, this is such a game changer to the general store. So all the thieving I do, I can use to generate money to buy the POH. Absolutely massive, massive discovery there. And there we go, level 25 thieving. I don't think that unlocks anything for us. Warriors, fruit stalls, and spring garden. We don't have warriors here, I don't believe. If we did, I'm sure they would be in this middle section, so never mind with that. I have just noticed though, I saw tourist. I haven't seen this before. Is it just the same? Yeah, it's just the same as a citizen. Okay. But yeah, 25 thieving. A little bit more to go before we unlock the first stalls. I'm going to continue selling the silk to the general store. And once I've got enough, I will go and unlock the POH. Okay, so I thought now that we have 1000 GP, I'm pretty sure I can now get a house, right? Yeah. Yes, I want to buy a starter house. There we go. Can I relocate it to... Okay, no. So that's all there is. I don't need a construction guide, thank you very much. But that is one more task to mark off. So permanent unlockables, buy a player owned house. There we go. Just need to continue on with this thieving now. And there we have level 30 thieving. I don't think there's anything that we benefit. No. Okay, so 5 more levels. That will allow us to move on to the first stalls, which obviously should boost our XP rates. I'm debating whether to stay at first stalls before going on to pickpocketing the wealthy citizens, or going for guards and seeing if on the off chance we can actually somehow get ourselves a medium clue scroll completion, but we shall see. Okay, hold on. So I have my first random event Posty Pete. I'm going to go to Molly. I think this is where I can get diamonds, right? I haven't done one of these in years. Wait, no, I actually don't. Let's see. So, thanks for coming. What's the problem? Evil twin. She's been gallivanting around Gielinor committing crimes. Yes! There we go. First attempt. Okay. Seems trivial, I know, but I haven't done that random event in years and years. What did I get? What did I get? 3 rubies. Okay. I need to keep those on me. Because they might be one of the very few ways that I can get my crafting up without getting the thieving requirement, but I'm not too sure. Saying that, I have just realised I do not have access to a bank, so I cannot unnote these. So the best thing I can probably do is sell them for the GP, which is a massive shame, but never mind. Okay, let's see how much these rubies are worth. 40 coins. That doesn't even feel worthwhile selling. I guess it doesn't make sense for me to keep them, right? I'm just gonna sell them. I'm not gonna think about it. I'll get rubies again from Flipper or a Molly random, I'm sure. But right now they have zero use to me that I can think of. Hopefully that is true and I'm not going to come to regret selling those. But I think that's the right decision for the account right now. Okay, and with this one final bit of silk, boom, there we are, level 35 thieving. That unlocks the ability to steal from the first stalls. So we've obviously made quite a good amount of money from selling the silk to the general store. I honestly couldn't be bothered to world hop every time to get 12 GP per silk, so I could have had way more, but it is what it is. But let's see how we do. So grey wolf fur. Okay, so it seems to be about the same amount of time to respawn as what the silk store was, so quite slow. Looks as though all we are going to get is grey wolf fur. I thought there may have been more, but let's go to the general store and we'll see if this makes us any money. 20. So it's worth more, yeah, so it's definitely worth more than the silk is, which is good news. So we there you go, you can see how much silk I've sold just in this world so far. So yeah, the first stalls are going to be quite beneficial to us going forward. Obviously it's almost double the XP, which is going to be lovely. And after this we unlock guards at level 40, and yeah, we'll go from there. And there we go. That's the end of episode 1. I know it's a bit of an abrupt end, however this is the first time I've ever done any editing for a video like this, so please bear with me. It will get better as the series goes on, I promise. I really hope you guys enjoy what I've put together so far. I'm really excited to continue with this series and make some crazy discoveries with you all. Fingers crossed that the next video will be much easier for you all to watch, having had a bit more time learning the editing software. As always, if you want to keep up with the progress and show your support, a like and a subscribe goes a long way. If you guys can think of any tips or tricks you feel would improve these videos, please drop them in the comments. Have a lovely day and I'll catch you soon. Peace!